Good evening and welcome back to the Adventures in Lollygagging. I am Aaron and I'm going to be your game master again tonight. Thank you, Stephen, for once again letting me have your chair for one last night, one last session of heroic deeds. We're going to finish off at least this portion of our story of the village of Hommlet tonight, showcasing Pete Lattimore's game Heroic Deeds, which is currently on Kickstarter. And if you like what you see here, you've still got 32 hours or so left to go and back it. A little bit about Pete. He is the founder and Twitch director of Garblag Games. He is the creator of another game called Dodeca. He's a published ttrpg cartographer, and anybody who's gone to the Garblag Discord and everybody watching and listening to this is welcome to join us over there. He is the prime Garblag of the Garpocalypse. He has been working on Heroic Deeds for quite a while now, and it's a very interesting game. It's fantasy, high fantasy, with kind of those old school feels that you get back from your advanced Dungeons and Dragons days, your old tunnels and trolls, castles and crusaders, and whatnot. But it's got modern mechanics that brings it into the 21st century. In addition to his writing on the game, he's got three artists now working with him: Dean Spencer, Mustafa Bakir, and since they've gotten to their first stretch goal, he's been able to bring Douglas Derry on board as well for additional art. So the campaign is fully funded. They have met their first stretch goal, and his first stretch goal was to add more art to the book to make it a more interesting, entertaining, and beautiful read for when you get your hands on it. So, like I said, if you like what you're seeing here, check out the Kickstarter page. Go join him on his Heroic Deeds Discord. He's always over there answering questions about the game, about the homebrew setting, which is the World Mountain, which is included in the game. But as you've seen here, you can easily pull the mechanics for this game out and you can stick it in any world you want. But you should definitely read through the World Mountain, because his take on this fantasy land is amazing. It's well developed. It's got interesting geography and interesting world building. So I think you'll like it when you take a look at it. So now that I've done the plugging, we're going to turn it over and we're going to have our players reintroduce their characters, tell us about the legend that they built. And then we'll get into a short recap, and then we'll see how long it takes me to murder a party of adventurers. So let's start with Stephen.
Hey, that's me. I am playing Black Lotus, known as Billy to his friends, BL Billy. Uh, I was born among the clouds. I trust what I can see before me. The world taught me a dark truth, and I seek forbidden knowledge. Because of this, I became a rune wielder, and magic came to me in a strange discovery. So last session, I was able to get several pips checked off for my first level deeds. I have 2 pips of arcane understanding, so I'm halfway there on that one. I've got 1 pip for magician in training, and I've got 2 pips in offensive arts. So there are 2 of them that I have a good chance of hitting this session.
I like it.
Using my sentences, I then created my backstory, where Black Lotus was fortunate enough to be born to the prestigious Lotus family, a line of renowned dwarven rune wielders, and he was conceived during one of his father's adventures among the stalactite-dwelling hawkfolk, because I was born among the clouds. His father unfortunately died a few nights later in battle, and his mother tragically died shortly after the birth, because this is high fantasy, so I have to be an orphan. Unwritten rule there. Leaving me as an infant, an orphan surrounded by folk that were not my kind, in an element that was not my own. The only possession I had of my father's was a copy of his Lotus Chronicles, a book detailing all the secrets of the Lotus family. This became my most prized possession, and it often clashed with The words inside often clashed with the wisdom and culture taught by the hawk folk, which is why I only trust what I can see before me. It led me to become quite cynical, and that's not to say that I don't believe in greater powers. I am a rune wielder, so obviously I know magic and there are greater beings, but it's just what I can use for myself that matters to me the most. Uh, the Chronicles also go into far too much detail about very dark forces that lie in slumber, aching for release. And that is the dark truth that the world taught me. And I wish more than anything to complete my father's final quest, which is to find forbidden knowledge. While on that quest, I found myself deep below the ruins of Arlorn, where I discovered an arcane codex inscribed in stone. And these magic runes finally allowed me to wield the same powers as my family. And that is how magic came to me in a strange discovery. And then I have used this power to my own ends to try and accomplish my quests. And I have joined up with a group of quite strange characters to do so. And that is Black Lotus, Billy.
Awesome. Can't wait to see Billy the Dwarf in action again. Kipser, you're up.
All right. So when I rolled my character, I was born to muck and toil. I trust not but steal. The world taught me action must be taken, and I seek ultimate power. So most of what I got was a frontline fighter kind of stat build. So I decided to go with Oathsworn, and I was excited to play a Jotun because it's not a race that I saw very often. So I rewrote the Frosty the Snowman Christmas story and made it fantasy. So obviously the children are replaced with halflings because, you know, that's pretty much the same thing. But my story was I was born to parents who traveled the land, taking jobs as farmhands as the season and work appeared, and or selling plant-based mixtures. So that is, I was born to muck and toil. I never took to the work and was, as was tradition with our ancestors, residing in the summit city of Jordangerg, still not sure on the pronunciation, to help learn and find ourselves. When I was yet young, I was sent off to survive on my own for a full season. As winter took hold, here's the Frosty the Snowman bit. Winter took hold, some gnome children found me, oh, gnomes, not halflings, my bad, and thought I was a living construct of their games. They hid me in a shed, brought me food, and we all played together in the snow. However, as the seasons began to change, an army marched to the gnome community, and men found us out by the shed. I was able to overpower one and took his sword for myself. So there's where we bring in I trust not but steal. And also the world taught me action must be taken. I learned I was very good with steel that day. I trained and protected those I could, keeping the gnomes safe with swift action. One evening, I heard that there was some ancient sword that never dulled, which I could use to protect my community. Now we're bringing in ultimate power. I have set out to find it, looking and working as a mercenary. Along the way, I accidentally followed, right below me, followed this gnome and dwarf over there. Oh, wrong way, that way. And dwarf thinking them like small animals in need of help. As far as my techniques are going, I've gotten for Oathsworn, number one is Sword and Board. I've gotten 3 pips in that. I've done that ability 3 times. Shield Barge, I've done 1 time. Defend the Meek, which, you know, I've protected my friends and taking 2 pips in that for 2 fights. Hero in Training, I just got 1. Hero in Training is when I've survived 4 battles against multiple enemies, which was only 1 of the fights. And Sterner Stuff, I took 3 pips because it's defeat 4 opponents in melee combat. In theory, maybe 3, maybe 2. I took 3. Even though maybe the third one I didn't quite get into close combat with or fight at all. Thanks, Aaron.
You're welcome. And we will let all of our pips stand for this for this playthrough. We'd like to see if anybody actually finishes off one of their level 1 deeds. As a reminder, before we find out who Jeff is playing, one of the interesting things about this game is the leveling process. It's not straight XP. It's not, you get a certain talent when you get a certain XP threshold. You have these deeds, and when you take actions in accordance with these deeds, you get a mark in them. And when you've completed that particular deed 4 times, you either get a talent or an attribute boost or whatever that deed specifies as your reward. Then once you've completed 3 deeds at your current level, you level up, and then you have additional deeds at the new level that you can work on. So it's a very flexible system, and it allows you to mirror the play style you want your character to have to how you want to grow your experience. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in exploring the different ways that an oath-sworn character can develop. Well, it depends on how you want to play your oath-sworn, and then you'll find different deeds that fit that play style, and you'll develop a completely different character, which I think is a very cool system. I like it quite a bit. Now that my exposition is done, once again, we will drop down to Jeff.
Hi, my name is Sonny Kaboom. I'm a gnome dark delver, and I was born into rank and file, which turned into my family being like mercenaries for a mercenary group. We specifically did like thinky things and mechanics and alchemy and such. I trust coin because I was born into a mercenary life, and really we just got paid all the time, and that seemed to be everyone sort of respected that kind of thing. But the world taught me that knowledge is power, because I had a very dear friend. I can't quite remember what his name is, but he is so very dear that whenever I think of his name, it gets me very verklempt. So anyhow, he and I used to scramble around and get sent on these little tunnel digs and such, and we'd affix various explosive devices to the bases of various keeps. And he died. He was killed by a sorcerer named Bison. And after he died, the mercenary company just tossed his family aside, because they said, well, your dear friend's the one who knew everything. His wife and kids don't know anything. Get out of here. So I got upset, and I realized that the more knowledge you had, that's really all anyone really cares about. What you can do for them, what you know. So anyhow, I seek a better life because I left the mercenary company because I don't want to live like that. Not a place where they would throw out my dear friend's, whatever his name was, his wife and his kids. And so I seek a better life for myself. I seek a better life for them. I also seek a bit of vengeance, because Bison's still out there somewhere, that cruel, terrible man. And I delve in search of lost dwarven cities. And that's because I have a new best friend, and his name's Billy Black Lotus, and he's a dwarf. And he doesn't know where he comes from, and he doesn't know where his houses were. And so I said, hey, I'll help you find them. I'm good at tunneling and digging and such, and maybe they're down there somewhere. And so hopefully you don't get killed, and I don't have to pay for your family too, because I'm already starting to hemorrhage in my cash. But luckily you don't have a family, so it's not a problem. Anyhow, that's Sonny Kaboom. So first level deeds. I'm dumb. I could have had multiple pips in Danger Sense, but I forgot. But I do have 3 pips in Rangefinder, which is defeat for opponents in range combat. If I get 1 more, I get a talent called Far Shot. I do have Rogue in Training, which is survive 4 battles against multiple enemies. We've only survived 1 battle so far that had multiple enemies. The spider was just the one. And then I also have Tomb Robber. So I use a Relic's major function 4 times in combat or in exploration. Last time around, in order to evade
a spider that tried to kill me, I used my provisional bilocation relic, which allowed me to be in two places at once. One of those was in the clutches of this giant spider. The other one was not there, and turned around and shot him. And that's Sonny Kaboom and his dear friend Mercer.
Oh God, I'm gonna miss Sonny Kaboom. That's for sure. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. For what is essentially an extended one shot, the four of you have made incredibly entertaining characters. I love every single one of them. Melissa, why don't you tell us about your lizard folk?
Yes, so I am Denza Gix. I am a Saurian wild walker. I was born in a long shadow. I trust the weakness of others. The world taught me forewarned is forearmed. I seek fame and fortune, and my infestation is cold-blooded and scaled. So my mother traded secrets that got several members of our clan killed, and I was born in exile. My earliest lessons were how to steal and look cute enough when caught to bring home even more than expected. We were nomadic. We learned about each new area long before we entered, listening to the gossip of the travelers and the gossip of the guards. As my wild walker skills developed, I became more and more torn between my abilities to commune with and mimic the natural world and the desire for the comforts that gold can buy. Denza has some of the first level deeds are a little bit similar. Wild walkers have Strider in training, which is also survive 4 battles against multiple enemies. So got 1 pip in that because we were all part of that one battle. And then the rest of the deeds have to do with adaptations. So the adaptations have multiple tags on them. So you can kind of pick when you implement an adaptation, sort of which of the tags. So you may have like protective and projectile might be one. And so then when you implement it, then you can kind of decide which one you're going to put the pip in. And then Wild Heart is just manifesting an adaptation 4 times. So I basically have a few different things that have a pip in them.
That is awesome. I will say this, as we get into tonight's play, if you finish off one of your deeds, stop me. We're gonna pull it up. We're gonna see what you get out of that. We're gonna explain what it is, and we're gonna go ahead and essentially, award you the deed in the moment, so that we can get some advanced play if it happens tonight. See what it looks like when you complete a deed. So thanks everybody for reminding us who your characters are. A little quick recap. Our group were a small mercenary squad that had been working for one of the bandit kingdoms in a skirmish between 2 bandit kingdoms. Their side was losing. So they scattered from the battlefield along with several other mercenary companies and squads and fled. They fled the battle. Their horses did not make the trip, and they pulled their bedraggled, exhausted bodies into the village of Hommlet. They were low on funds and tired and looking for an opportunity to put some gold back in their pockets. And Denza found a pair of traders who were looking for their third partner, an individual by the name of Castor Voss, who had stolen a magical key that they had been deciphering and headed deep into the bogs to an old abandoned moat house that was said to have a secret temple beneath it. They had determined that the magical key would open a secret lock, a hidden door that would allow them entrance into the temple. However, their third partner, the traitorous one, Castor Voss, took off with the key before they were able to discover that this door was well hidden. So the partners believed that if you got there in time, you would be able to stop Castor Voss, because he more than likely has not been able to find this hidden door with this secret magical lock for this key. So our party set out. The sky continued to darken. The rain fell continuously, pounding and pattering against our group as they made their ways down the old cobbled road. And eventually the road began to break up and turn into a muddy track. And then it began to go into the bog. And the stench of the bog filled them. And the rain continued to fall. And the bog continued to get deeper. And they had to work to stay on the paths, trying to slowly find their way along, because they could tell that off the path on either side, the waters would get deeper and the bog would get more treacherous. They went along and they got within sight, quarter mile, half mile away of the hillock. And they were beset upon by two great toads. Come on. We're gonna, if I remember correct, the Dark Mire Leapers. And sadly, Denza was quickly swallowed.
Quickly swallowed.
Quickly swallowed, and we feared for Denza's life as the acids in the Dark Mire Leaper's stomach began to churn away at her. And having found its meal, it began to hop off deeper into the bog. Everyone eventually managed to fight off these horrible giant amphibians and free Denza in a slimy ball of frog stomach acid, blood, and ooze. But they were alive. They had survived the encounter and began to make their way, slightly beaten, slightly bedraggled, into up to the moat house. They saw that the drawbridge was down, but had been trapped and or damaged, and that there was a very deep, wide moat around the moat house still, bleeding into the bog. But the waters of the moat itself looked very, very deep. So the party walked around a bit, looked for another way into the moat house. But the further they got away from the drawbridge, the further they got into the bog, the more the sounds of the giant frogs, the croaking, began from all around them. And they identified multiple voices of these giant frogs. They heard the slappings of their flippers as they lurched their way closer to the moat house and an easy meal. So the party retreated, smartly retreated, I might add, and headed back towards the drawbridge and made their way across the drawbridge and into the darkened Barbican. And as they made their way into this pitch black area, they began to feel threads of web stretch across their face and break. And then there was a chittering from above, and a death silk spider dropped, encasing them, biting at them. And as Sunny already said, he used his incredible gifts, his incredible relic, and he translated himself into two places, and that was able to abandon his captured body, take his new form, and shoot the death silk spider. So tired, wet, some of us covered in stomach acid and dead frog bile, we find ourselves in a darkened Barbican. On the opposite side, there are two doors that would push out into the courtyard of the moat house. You see around you in the fractions of the moonlight, cocooned bodies, obviously previous victims of the spider. A couple of them are still squishy. They still smell of death and rot and decay, and small drips of fluid are oozing out from around the silken threads. why don't you remind all of us where you're at on vitality, where you're at on wounds, and then tell me what you'd like to do.
Guys, this not in addition to all of the smelling, it also hurts. So she's currently at 3 current vitality out of a total of 9 vitality, and has 1 wound.
Okay.
Yes.
So if we could like sit for a little bit, that would be great.
The smell, whatever. Let's rest. Currently, Frosty has 1 actual wound and 5 out of 11 vitality left.
Nice, nice. How's Billy looking?
I thought I was doing well until I heard she has max 11 vitality. Billy is at 0 wounds. Current vitality 5 out of 7 because he cast a spell. And he's gonna look at Denza being all injured, and he's gonna start slapping a tincture on himself to give himself 2 vitality back.
Billy the dwarf. And how's Sonny looking?
Not so good, I don't think. So wounds count from 0 up, right? We don't count and go down. I've got 6 wounds.
What's your maximum?
I think it's
Well, see, I'm actually kind of sure. Like my sheet's not showing it correctly. I could have sworn I took damage, but I think no, never mind. No, there is a current wounds line. I'm okay, I guess. I could have sworn I took some damage though.
I thought you just took vitality damage, but I could be.
I might have,
You
yeah,
were on
yeah.
my
current
shoulder
wounds does
the
have
whole
0.
time.
No,
Okay.
the spider got a hit off
true.
on me. I'll have to check my other notes to see if I took some. But no, I don't have any. I don't have any wounds. Never mind. I lied.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just really
You heard it here, folks. Jeff cheats at RPGs.
Oh
They,
dear.
they've been watching for years. They kind of already knew that, but that's just me.
I do still have the frightened condition though, so I have been frightened. I think.
Now that the combat is done, you're
Okay, it's done.
you're out of the condition. Yeah. So while you're sitting within this dark, almost pitch black barbican, you've got the stench of this dying giant spider with you. It's your wet water from the rain is still coming in and flooding into the barbican. It's miserable, it's uncomfortable, and it's very dark. The doors you came through are obviously still open that will go out to the drawbridge, and the 2 doors that would lead into the courtyard are shut. You can hold up here if you'd like for a little while, whatever you'd like.
Hey, Frosty, while you take a little nap, up,
Yeah.
up.
Oh, yes, that's all right. I sleep sitting like a horse stands.
Uh-huh.
And so then on Frosty's shoulders, he's just gonna start like cutting open some of the stuff at the top and see what falls out.
Right over me?
Yep.
Wonderful.
Indeed.
Great.
We're
Great.
best friends. I mean, you can't be my bestest friend because you're not a dwarf, but you're my best friend after that.
Okay, it's dark, so go ahead
Thanks.
and give me a observe check. But you need to get 2 successes because it's very
Okay.
dark in here.
All right, observe. I do have 5 guile, so I am getting to roll a good amount. I don't have any skill in observe, so I need 11.
So it's 11.
Let's see, one of those is cocked. I do have a 111. Nope, only 1 success.
Well, that's you can spend a vitality because if you're only missing your success by 1 success, you can succeed at a cost. You spend a vitality and you succeed by getting that extra success.
Let's do it.
All right. So Frosty, as this silk cocoon opens, Sunny grabs into it and pulls something out. And then pivots a little bit out of the way. And this obviously the spider had not finished feeding on this body because it's relatively fresh and still squishy. And this bloated, purpling corpse sort of falls down on your shoulders and bursts across your body. And its eyeball rolls out of its socket and lands in your lap. Give me a composure test.
Sunny.
Son's on to the next one. What are you talking about?
Sunny.
Attention.
You gotta say. your
Okay,
whole
so
name.
composure. Oh dear. So I have a 3 in psyche and a 0 in composure. So that's 3 dice, right?
You roll 3 dice. You've got to get 11 or better
11 or
on
better.
at least one.
Yes, I got a 12.
Okay, so you have the immediate urge to jump up and run out of this barbican, but you're able to control yourself and sit there looking down in your lap as a
Mhm.
dead man's eyeball looks up at you, and as his shoulders sort of dissolve across your shoulders and his intestines sort of go down your back.
So Frosty is going to sigh. She will reach down, scoop this eyeball into her hand. With her other hand, she'll grab onto Sunny's waist, pull him off, drop the eye down the back of his tunic, then put him on the ground and go. She's going to be careful. She knows there's water outside with creatures in it, but she's hoping to get a little, like just a little bit to splash without attracting attention on herself.
Down there. Oh my god, that's what did you do? That's so rude. I'm trying to find this treasure.
Well, you can do it by yourself.
No, I
So-
really can't. It's very far up.
That seems like a you problem.
Okay,
So as
well, you're not gonna
Frosty
get
moves out to clean off the gore, Sonny, you see what you've pulled out is a composite short bow of black wood. Give me either a well, I'll let you decide. You can either give me a weird check, an arcane check, or you can give me a craft check. They'll
I
get you
will
different
definitely-
information.
I'll definitely go craft, as that's the one that I've got. I've got 4 in training, and I've got 1 in craft. The other 2 I don't have
So
anything
you need a
in.
10 plus.
Okay, and I'm going to use my green die as my special one.
All right. So I need 10s.
Mhm.
I have a 12. So one
Okay,
success.
So in looking at
Yeah.
this bow, it's beautifully crafted. And it's crafted of petrified living wood. And you don't understand, so it's still supple like a bow, but it's got the strength of stone. And you can see as you look closer, the bowstring itself appears to be it's some sort of wire, but the closer you look, you think what it is the braided whiskers of a dragon. And along the bow, there are runes etched into it that you don't understand. But you would guess that it is ancient dwarven craft.
Billy, best friend, Billy,
Yeah. What do you want?
come here. I found something, but don't show it to Frosty. She put some sort of loogie down my back. Come here.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's gross. Can you fish it out? I want to show you something.
I ain't fishing it out. Just show it to me.
Ah, fine. God, now why is everyone so unhelpful? Here you go. Take a look. Look what I found. Look what I found. I found it up there. I think this is dragon. I think it's made from dragon. Look at it. And it's got runes on it. I don't know what it says. It probably says property
let me see it.
of
Let me see it.
dragon. Okay, that's why I called you over. Calm down. Here you go.
Well, hand it over then.
I just gave it to you. What do you think's in your hair? Oh no, sorry.
I
you're
just kind of
right.
like
That's-
gently push
that
his
was my
face
hand
backwards
crossbar.
and start looking at the bow.
I hope you both get composure checks when that eyeball comes out the back of the shirt.
Okay. Go ahead and either give me an arcane or a weird
I'll
check.
go with arcane. I've got 4 in that. 4 occult, 1 arcane. So I'm hoping for 10s. That's nothing. Nothing at all.
You can spend a point of luck. You guys currently have 2 points of good luck, and I have 3 points of bad luck. You could spend a good point of good luck and roll.
I'll pass. I'll pass. It's not the time to spend luck.
Okay. So yes, you have this bow. All you really can tell, and anybody else who wants to try to roll arcane or weird can. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from trying.
Except that I'm not showing anyone else as I start tucking it into my backpack.
Stunny.
No, I don't think that's exactly how they. Oh, I give it back now. You greedy.
You're off
little-
your Eidmon. You gave it to me.
I said I wanted you to take a look at it.
I
wasn't
took it.
Do you know how to fire?
You said
a
to take
bow?
it. I took it.
No, I didn't. I said I wanted you to look at it. I wanted to share in my discovery with my best friend. And
Did
now
you
you're
say
being
there's a
on-
bow over there? Is there a bow?
See,
Is
now
that a
what you
new
did-
bow?
What you did now? She's like, look at her. She sounds like she's
Well,
tired.
if you wouldn't have
all the
kept
time.
talking, if you would have shut your wee little mouth.
Wait,
Is there a
wait.
bow?
There's
What
a
is that
bow.
over there?
Yes,
Yeah.
And I just point
yes.
towards a random shadow.
I'm not looking over there. I fell for that like 10 times. It's not happening again. Give me the damn
I was
bow
going
back.
for Denza and you ruined it. I knew you
Get-
wouldn't look, but I thought she would.
No, you're not being very nice. I don't know why you're not, but my other best friend, who's now dead, he was a way better best friend than you.
Oh yeah, what was his name?
I don't want to talk about it anymore. Give me the damn bow back.
I give him the damn bow back.
Okay.
And then I'm like,
Hey, Denzel, look what I found.
and they come trotting over.
Oh, that looks so interesting. I have a 2 in occult and nothing in arcane, but we're here to roll dice, so rolling dice.
I like it.
It's made from a dragon.
Those are some symbols there. They look
Once again, you can spend some luck if you want.
Yes. Oh yes, that's the thing that we give you so you can kill us. That's right.
Now what I was
Or I
thinking.
spend it, I give it back to you. I'll get around to spending some bad luck here, I'm sure soon. So
Now what I was thinking. That's a really nice bow. What?
Yeah.
But whoever had it got eaten, or was about to be eaten, by that spider.
Mm-hmm.
We beat the spider.
So we deserve the bow.
Ah, well, I mean, that's not where I was going with it, but I sort of think that's made. Are you good at bows? Do you know how to shoot? I know how to shoot a crossbow. Oh, jeez. Oh, God, I didn't
So
realize I had it loaded still. Sorry.
once Frosty comes back, she's just gonna grab all of the hanging bodies, put them on the floor in a line, and then go rest in the opposite corner.
as you pull most of them down, they kind of crunch and dust flows down over your face as the fully desiccated corpse crumble in your hands. But one of them is still pretty squishy, and as you pull it down, you just kind of feel your fingers sink in through.
I look over to
slightly
Sunny.
decayed ribs.
Just gonna like hold it over him a little bit.
Ah, hey.
And
what's
squish.
up?
What
Hey,
are
it's
you
in kneecap.
and
Oh,
Denza's
ah,
gonna
what-
push Sunny out of the way because she's like, so the runes that are on this. So I spent a luck, I re-rolled, and I got double 9s. So I didn't pass, but my
But the
other
hero
die matched my
dice,
hero
yep.
die.
So that is a success.
There
So
you go.
when you're looking at this bow, you remember an old dwarf rune wielder that you had met in your earlier travels, and he had taught you a little bit of the runic tongue, and you recognize that the runes on the bow declare this heart's curdle is the name of the bow, and a level 1 deed that is associated with this bow is after 4 successful hits in combat that cause damage, the wielder of the bow unlocks the bow's first level magic. You can spend 2 points of vitality and impose the fear condition equal to the amount of total damage caused on whoever you hit with the bow. It's standard. It gives you +1 to observe to hit with the bow. So you're observed, you get +1 to observe when you're using this bow. And the strength of the arrows are 9 base strength damage.
Sunny. Hey, Sunny. and
So
she like
Sunny
pushed
is
him
getting
out of
off.
the way so that none of
Wiping
that.
himself off.
And she like Denza kind of looks over at Frosty. I don't know what's up with her and Goo, but she's like obsessed with like squeezing and dropping goo. But it's on the ground. It didn't. That's why I pushed you so that you wouldn't get goo on your head.
Oh, I thought you were attacking me or something.
No,
Everyone keeps
no.
attacking me. Stealing my
No, the
stuff.
bow. It's a super cool bow.
I know. You know what it
It's
does?
like it. Yes. So like it's really strong, and it does really cool things. And like if you hit stuff with it, gets even better.
Okay. Do you know how to use it? Do you want to use it? If you want to, I can use it. Well, if you want to use it, it's fine too, I suppose.
I can. I also have a sword.
No, it's
So-
fine. I'll take it back. I'm just trying to be nice and friendly, unlike some people in this party. I would give it to Frosty, but she would just probably mangle it with the big old sausage fingers. So, you know, like really big sausages.
Here.
So,
And
out of character, like
Denzo
Sunny, I mean, it's observed to fire this?
Yep.
I mean, I don't have any points in observe, but I do have 5 guile. I'm not sure if you guys have heard.
I only have
Denzo
3
got
guile. So so Denzo will just sort of like she'll run through like all of the
That's fine.
stats.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So when you
yeah.
when you fire this, though, you for firing this bow, you do have 1 in observe with this bow, so it drops it down to 10.
Sweet.
So it gives you
Sweet.
+1 to observe when firing this bow, and it's a strength 9 weapon. If you hit 4 people with it, let me know, and I will tell you
Okay.
about the power that you unlock.
I hit 3 people immediately by attacking each members of my party.
And
I
this is
found
how
a
we start our
You
TPK.
had to save him. You just had to save him from being slimed.
So and
TPK.
also Denza has an herbalist pouch. So what she was doing was kind of before kind of Sunny came over with the bow, was attempting a couple of uses. So there's 4 uses in an herbalist pouch. It's a medicine check to restore 1 vitality. She's currently down 6 vitality, so she's gonna do like 2 uses of that if that is a possible thing. If not, I could just do like a tincture or something.
You absolutely can. Give it a go. Give it a shot.
So medicine, I have 4 in education and 1 in medicine. So I'm rolling for 10s. And I got 112. So that's a success
All right.
on the first use, and then use number 2, and then I will see if anybody else needs a use of this. I got an 11 on that one. So
Okay. Nice.
I'm back up to
While
5
you're
vitality.
doing that, the second squishy body, if you look through it, you do find a satchel looped over the side of this corpse. And looking in it, you find 4 black pearls worth about 10 gold pieces in total. And possibly more important, you find 4 tinctures and 1 herbal salve.
Well, here, and she'll give 1 of the black pearls to Billy, 1 to Sunny, even though you didn't allow me my vengeance when he gooped me to goop him back, you also get 1 Denza. And she will give 1 of the black pearls to each for companions.
All right.
What is she going on about with vengeance?
If we have 4 tinctures, we're probably not going to rest. I should just consume them, right?
You can. I mean, you guys could totally rest.
I
here.
think we
every
were
half hour
resting.
will heal
It's-
you
yeah,
1
it's 30
vitality.
minutes.
Yeah.
So I mean that I will say you guys already have spent a half hour here pretty much in no activity. So you can all heal 1 vitality at this point.
Okay. And then sorry, another herbalist pouch.
An herbal salve. So it heals 1
Which
wound
heals
out of
wound.
combat.
Okay, just making notes.
So how long would you guys like to stay in this dark, wet, dank, stinking barbican?
I feel quite hale. I'm ready to move on.
I don't know what he said, but I'm ready to move on too.
I will consume some tinctures so that we can move on.
Okay.
Hold on now. If there are 4 of those, we should each get one as well.
No.
That's how counting works. There's 4 of us and 4 of those.
Yes, but you and I take a lot more damage than Billy and Sunny. And
Just because you went and got your ass beat doesn't mean I shouldn't get a tincture.
I also need to get fully healed before we go into that room where there is likely Castor Voss who is about to attack us.
Oh, go ahead and take him. It's fine. It's fine.
Damn it. I thought we were going to get some PvP
Fine.
here because I love it when other characters kill other characters. It's one of my signature moves.
see.
Yes, I've heard.
If someone gives Sonny a knife when he's sitting on Frosty's shoulders, we can make some fun stuff happen.
Yeah. Right. Good to know.
I don't have a knife, but I'll give you a candle.
She's taking the drugs. Look at her. She's gonna turn. Get her. Get her now.
Okay, so 2 vitality. So if I have 6, yeah, I'll drink 3 of those, and then there's 1 tincture left. I have 1 herbal salve and left for anyone, and 1 tincture for everyone.
Tincture is 2 vitality.
Correct.
Yeah, I
And we
needed
get 1 vitality just from sitting here.
Yes, and I needed to drink 3 of them to get full vitality.
Oh, that's right, because you have 11 vitality. Mm.
Yes.
You're 11
I still have a
vitality.
tincture and a solve from character creation, so
Okay.
I'm good to move forward.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm 8
Yeah, I mean, I've
of
got
9.
2 in my inventory, but like,
Okay,
I
so
had none in my inventory.
you spent
It's
a
fine,
half
drink it.
hour, you rested, you looked into this bow, you found some pearls. Frosty managed to get most of the goop off of her. Denza, the stomach bile and acid is dried and kind of flaked off of her scales. Sonny still hasn't found the eye that's somewhere in his pants, but we're ready to move on. So there's the double doors that you assume will lead into the moat house's courtyard in front of you.
Okay. Sonny wants to very carefully assess it for any sort of nefarious traps or some such. If this person, this fella, I can't remember names for some reason. I think I took a knock to my noggin. Anyhow,
Casper?
if he's Casper's
yeah.
a ghost, I thought. Never mind. Anyhow,
Castor Voss.
okay.
Casper,
Casper,
that's it.
if they're expecting trouble, they might have booby trapped some things and such, So just to be careful.
So he wants to just take a quick peek at the door before
Absolutely. Give me
Yeah.
an operate check.
Okay. Now we're talking my language. So I have 4 in training, and I have 2 in operate. So I'm rolling 4 dice. I need 9s. That's 2 successes. So I've got a 9 and an 11.
So you check around the doors, you're looking for wires, you're checking planks, you're looking for any pressure plates that might have been added or any kind of explosive that might have been, attached to the back of the bar. And you don't find anything. There does not seem to be any traps on these doors.
Okay, so he turns to Frosty.
Okay. It's safe. There's no traps if you want to take the
Okay.
lead there.
Yes, I will. And you'll see her pull out and chug the herbal salve as well, just to reduce that 1 wound that she had. I will take the lead. I am ready. And she'll equip her sword and shield and move towards the door.
Okay.
Sonny's doing corners and doors with his bow. Sleeping.
See inside on.
Did Sunny, do you want a piggyback again?
The bow, mate, I gotta use 2 hands with this one, so maybe I shouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind some uppies.
I'm opening the door now.
You're on her
So
team. Frosty's mine.
the double doors open out into the courtyard. The rain is still pounding. As you move out into the courtyard, Frosty, you can see in the northeast corner. There's the four walls that define this courtyard, and then the northeast corner, there are a set of stairs that are moving up to where the moat house keeps large double doors would be, but they're broken off their hinges. However, that's not what really attracts your attention. You see that somebody has extended a great tarpaulin out along those stairs, and underneath the stairs, lit by a couple of torches, are two humans with bows wearing leather armor and skull caps. But what really strikes your attention is the form of a two-headed ogre, or Etten, standing there with a large obsidian club, picking his teeth, also wearing mail, nice-looking mail. And he goes, one of the heads looks over, he goes, "A Jotun! I was not expecting to see a Jotun." And the other head goes, "Now listen, brother, why wouldn't you expect to see a Jotun? They're more common than we are. Now listen, no, we don't have time for this. Let's find out why they're here, and then we can have a debate about giant kin population density in the area. All right. You, Jotun,
Yes.
are you just here to get out of the rain, or do you have some other purpose for invading our current lair?" You see the two humans are just shaking their head like they've heard this song and dance, and they're up to here.
I'm fascinated by your interest in population and population density. At some point in time, we should talk. We are here to partly hide from the rain. I also am looking for a Voss, if you know this person.
A boss?
The Voss.
I think she means the boss.
Voss with a V, not a
Yes.
B.
No, Caster Voss, right? That's who you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the boss. That's the boss. Yes, that is our boss.
Voss.
Yes, Voss is the boss. Yeah,
Boss,
that's
boss.
it. Voss is the boss.
Voss, yes.
Well, we were sort of afraid that might be the case. He said there might be people coming who might be interested in having a prolonged conversation with him using weapons. So he hired us on the road. I can see the look of you. Were you a mercenary team, a mercenary company yourself, a band of mercenaries? Yeah, I think they were definitely a band of mercenaries.
How much did he give you?
Well, mercenary contract. We can't discuss that, and we already accepted his coin. So here's my proposal. Now, we really shouldn't be offering them anything unless we've talked to the boss about. Be still now. He's doing his thing. He's left us out here in the rain for a day. You can stay there in the ballywhack. You could stay in the courtyard. You could do whatever you want, as long as you don't try to come up the stairs or go inside. And then you can leave whenever you want. Tell whoever hired you, I'm assuming it was his partners, since he said they would more than likely be the ones. He did say that. Yes, he did say that. Be still. That you could not find Caster Voss, and I believe that I can arrange to get you a gold piece for each of you for your troubles.
I have a black pearl I'm willing to give you to just go away.
Yeah, I hate to tell you this, but I mean,
no, it was higher than that.
No, definitely he paid more than that, but that's not the point. He's also terrifying. Oh, he is. He's very terrifying. I'm here to tell you, the man is, well, he's spooky. He is very spooky, and he paid us in advance, and he paid us well. Yes, he did pay us well, but over half of our squad, including the sergeant, are dead. The spider got the sergeant. I see that you have his bow. Good on you. Finders keepers. That's the way. That's the way it works. That is the way it works. So, do we have an accord?
See, if he paid you in advance, if he's not around to complain about you abandoning post, we killed the spider and we would hurt you a lot.
It's possible, but reputation is everything in the mercenary business. My
True.
band, well, it's my band now because the sergeant said. Yeah, we need to discuss that, Billy, because I mean, if it's your band, it really should be our band. Don't you? No, I told you, zip it. My band now, because the sergeant's dead. But I mean, reputation is everything, and I can't have my first job going south because I sold out the boss, right?
So you will take damage, I'm afraid.
Oh, I mean, if that's the way you want to play this, that's okay. I mean, we were trying to be amenable. Yes, we were. I thought we were trying to be we were very civil
I
with
was happy to pay you off.
them. Well, yeah, I think we're a bit of an impasse, don't you?
Yes, it's about time.
All right, so you can either choose to roll. So we're gonna go into combat because combat's fun. So let's talk about initiative. So obviously there's no surprise in this situation. So you get to choose to either roll observe or tactics, one of you, for your party. And I will roll observer tactics for these guys. And the one who gets the most successes gets to go first. And then we alternate until everybody has gone their allotted number of times. So.
Not be me.
Sonny's
I
got it.
think I rolled for the spider.
I have
Becky.
like 2 dice.
What are
I
we
like
rolling
fu-
again? Sorry.
Either observe or tactics.
I have 5 dice for observe, but I don't have any skill in observe, so I need 11s.
I'm the same with tactics.
Then either one of you are better. I've got 4 in education and 1 in
Just
tactics.
two dice in
ahead,
either
Billy.
of those categories for me.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Billy.
Sonny.
No, you.
I think Frosty
I rolled
should
for the
go.
last one. You rolled for the first one, so we're
No,
taking
no,
turns.
Go ahead, because I want to make a funny comment while you're doing it.
Well, I
So-
kind of wanted to
No,
make a
no.
comment. I wanted to talk to the Etten, and
But
because they're confusing me. They're both talking to each other, but I don't know their names. Do they have
Well, I
the
was
same
gonna-
name because they're the same Etten?
Billy.
I don't know that you're going to get a chance to ask now.
I
was
will
gonna
say-
roll
Tactics.
my
Oh my
2
goodness,
dice.
I've got such
Okay.
a
right
funny
now.
lie. Okay, it's not
I
gonna be funny
rolled
anymore 'cause
a
it's so
6
long
and a
ago.
7.
Okay, so you got 0 successes. I got
Mhm.
3
rolling,
successes.
yeah.
So my side gets to go first. So the Etten nods over to one of the sentries, and they're going to open fire. Let's see who they're going to open fire at. They're going to open fire at Frosty because she's a big damn target.
Yep.
Frosty, you see this longbow. He pulls back. He lets go with his arrow. He's got a guile of 4 and an observe of 9 plus. Let me get my red die for my hero die.
What
I got
did
a
you
9 on
say?
I got a 9 on the hero die. I got a 9 on another die and a 10. That's 4 successes. So he definitely succeeds. Now, whether or not he does damage, that's a whole nother thing altogether. So with his bow, let me see. It's strength 7. What is your protection value? Do you have any? What's your armor
Yes, I have.
against piercing?
Would you say mayhaps I have had my shield up considering obvious? Okay.
Nope.
All right.
You got to use it. You got to use an action to raise your shield. You haven't been in combat yet.
Then my chain Hubrick gives me 2 protection.
Okay, so that takes it down to a strength of 5. And what is your evasion defense value?
My evasion is 7.
Okay, so he's got to get 7 plus on 5 dice. An 8, 11, a 9, and a 9 for 4 points of vitality damage.
Ouch.
As he looses an arrow at you. And then for his second action, he moves back into the rubble and behind cover. It's your turn. Who would like to go now?
I think Frosty's the only one in combat
I
because she rolled dice and she was the one in front while we were hanging out back.
Yeah. Oh,
I
Billy and
will-
I want to befriend the Ettons so that we can both take piggyback rides at the same time with the same person right next to each
Okay.
other.
Hearing the squabbling behind me, I
What if
roll
we
my
just kill Frosty so
eyes.
that the Etten becomes friends with
Okay,
us?
and I will engage the Etten using one of my 3 actions for movements, just ignoring the chitter.
Uh-huh.
And I will try to hit him with my sword as one of my actions.
Okay, so you move up for your first action. Second
Mhm.
action, you are swinging away with your sword. Go
Yes.
right ahead.
Which is training and prowess, I believe.
Prowess. Yep.
So that is 5 dice, and I have prowess 1, which means I should only need 10 and above.
Yep.
Oof, I only got 1 success on that.
It's okay. It's all you need. So the strike will land true as long as you do enough damage to bypass his armor. So, what is the strength of your weapon?
My sword is a where is it? Shield, longsword. 7 has
Okay.
7 dice.
Okay, so the his protection value against slashing is 3, so that's down to 4 dice.
Okay.
And his defense is 9 plus. You have to get 9 or better on 4 dice.
Okay. 9 or better, 4 dice. I've got an 11 and a 10.
Okay, so that's two against his vitality.
Yes.
So you see that your blade bites into the Etten, but not very deeply. I mean, he's well armored and his skin is tough, tougher probably than most leather armor. So you see a scratch across his shoulder, and then he looks down at you, and one of his head crackles and snaps, and the other one goes, "Oh, I cannot believe that Jotun just ran up here and tried to skewer us. That is unconscionable."
I mean,
well,
we
brother, I believe it's time.
discussed exactly what I was going to do prior to this conversation now.
We were stunned by it anyway, but you still have your
Hmm.
third action. So what would you like to do?
I will use, okay, I'm going to do a few things here because I successfully attacked. I'm going to use 1 vitality to activate sword and board, which allows me to raise my shield as a free action, which then gives me 4 pips on 4 pips on sword and board, which means that I now get
This is exciting
gain
stuff.
the defensive expertise talent.
Okay, and defensive expertise. When you use a defensive technique and are carrying a shield, you count as having taken a free raise your shield action until your next turn. So now, from now on, whenever you use a defensive technique, you can raise your shield as a free action.
Which is kind of funny because I only have short sword and board as a defensive technique, which is to raise my shield.
Well, now you can
Yes.
invest in a new technique when you get the
Yes.
opportunity to get a, if you
Yes.
don't die here.
Which, yeah.
So your
I might.
shield is raised.
My shield is raised, and I get 1 more action, which I know the odds are against me, but I'm going to do 1 more attack, which I believe I now need 3 successes.
You got to get 3
on 5
successes on
dice.
this on 5 dice.
Yeah.
You can do it. Remember to
Maybe,
separate
I'm
out
not-
your hero die.
Yes, I have it right here. Ooh, nope, definitely. Well, I got my hero dice does match one of my other dice, but it's only a 4 and I have a 10, so it is not a success.
Okay, so you swing at the Etten, and it brings its obsidian club up, and your blade deflects off of it. It's like, oh, I hate having to kill Giantkin, brother. I know, but she started this. And it brings its obsidian club around to try to cudgel you to death. So its training is 3, its prowess is 10 plus, so not great odds, but I do get a 10 though, so it is connecting with your body. What is your defense against crushing? Or the strength reduction against it?
So the kite shield against crushing. So the kite shield is for boss and I'm not sure exactly what would count as. I just have protection 3 right now. But
Okay,
I'm not sure
that's
which
all. That's all I
ones.
need to know. You're
Okay.
good against any physical attacks. You're good with 3. So it reduces the damage, the strength of his obsidian club from 12 down to 9, which is good because I've only got 9 dice, so it's perfect. And what is your defense against your toughness? What's your toughness?
My toughness is 7.
Okay, so 7 or plus on 9 dice. Oh, that's not a great roll. 11, 9, 7, 9, 7, 5 points of vitality as his cudgel slams
Oh.
into your gut,
Yep.
lifting you up a little bit, and then he pulls it back. And the other head goes, brother, that was a very solid blow right to the midsection. You've been working out. I have. When you've been sleeping, I have been working this body. Let's see if we can do it again. What do you think, brother? I would like to see that. I would like to see if you can break a knee this time. He's going to try with his second action to get 3 successes. Now, this is highly unlikely. He's only got 3 dice in training. Got to get a 10 or better. Ooh. He gets a 12 and a 12 on the hero die and a 10 for 4 successes. So that's 9 dice. Oh, a crappy roll, though. Crappy roll. Only 3 points of vitality damage.
Even so, that takes my vitality from back down to 0, and that means I get 2 wounds. I only had 1 vitality left.
You don't drop. So once you go to 0 vitality, that's the end of it for that. So you're fine. You don't take any wounds. However, now that you are at 0 vitality, you have to decide.
Oh yes, that's right.
Whether or not you want to be stunned or weakened. Stunned reduces your guile and evasion by 2, so that's your ranged stuff. And
oh
weakened
yeah, definitely
reduces.
that.
Okay, so reduce your guile and evasion by 2.
Okay.
So you're easier to hit in ranged combat, and you're not as effective at ranged combat. For his third action, he doesn't have a shield to. He's just for his third action. He just like, are you sure you want to do this? I mean, brother. I mean, she did run up here and stab us with a sword. I don't know that we should be offering her a quarter. I know, but it's. If it was a dwarf, we would just toss her. But I mean, it's a Jotun. Well, listen, if she tries to hit us again, maybe we'll kill her. But if she just runs away, we might let her go. Do you think that's wise? You know, she's got friends right there. You can see. Let's just let this one lie for a
Friends
moment.
is a strong word.
But it is back to your turn now, as he uses his third action for a little bit of villain monologuing.
Fair enough.
So there were two humans or something. that
Right,
were
2
fighting,
archers.
right?
One, yeah, the first guy shot first and then ducked into cover. The other one is
Okay.
just standing there with his bow out.
Do you mind if Sonny tries to take out the other one before he gets to go? Is that okay, Billy and Denza?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm completely against it. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Oh, listen, I didn't really want to fight, but I want to try out the battle. Oh, shit. Oh, crap.
All right. The interesting thing is that the bow doesn't actually have the load quality, so I don't have to spend an action with a load to load. So I'm going to aim with my first action, which gives me a die on my ranged attack if it's my next action, which it will in fact be. Then I'm going to take a shot. Now the bow is specifically observe. I have 5 in guile, so now I'm rolling 6 dice. It also gives me a rank in observe, so I'm rolling 6 dice d10s, and I'm firing at the other archer who hasn't gone yet. It's
like
just minding his own business, right? He's just gonna
He's
shoot
like,
him. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3. I have 1 12, and then my hero die paired, so I have three total, I think.
more than enough.
Okay.
He has got protection 1 against piercing, so that takes the bow's strength down to 8.
Okay.
And your target number is 7+.
Okie doke. Right. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. All right. 7+. Oh God, that's a lot of 8s. I think I just rolled like 4 8s.
You matched your hero dice?
1, 2, 3.
just run out on
Yeah.
the damage,
No, not on. Okay, so that is 5 hits. So I have 4 8s and a 9.
Describe your kill.
I go to Billy. I'm like, hi Billy, what's this? Oh jeez! Yeah, as it fires, and it just it just sails past Frosty and like between the head of the 2 Ettins, and it just arches over, and just hits the poor guy who is just down there.
And right between the eyes, and he just looks befuddled for a second, stares at you as if to ask what, and then falls over. And one of the Ettin heads looks down. Oh no, that was Herbert. Herbert was the best cook we had left. We've got to do something about this, brother. I know. All right, I'm gonna kill this Jotun now, and then I'm gonna go eat that gnome.
What? Well, Frosty's an excellent cook.
And then I'm gonna try to shoot at them. I have one more action, so I'll just take a wild shot. Why not?
So you need 3 successes, but I think you can do it.
Let's see. So, all right, let me get my 6 die out. All right, need 10s. All right, that is 1. So I got another double on my hero die and an 11. So that's
Nice.
3 on the dot.
That's it.
Yeah.
You hit.
Okay.
hit. Now with the Ettin, its protection value against piercing is only 2.
Oh. Well,
So it's 7 dice against a evasion of hold on. Let's look at the wrong column. An evasion of 6+. They don't move very
so
fast.
6s? Okay.
Yep, 6s are better on 7 dice.
All right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my 7 dice were 7 or above. So
Nice.
6.
Nice. So the arrow thunks into its shoulder. It's like, oh brother, that did not tickle. I did not like the feeling of that. The sergeant's bow was always listen, I told you we'll eat the gnome after we kill the Jotun. Give me a second to work here. All right, because I did not appreciate that. And as
Hey, curiosity. You ever give Herbert and the other archer like piggybacks on the back of your necks at the same time? That would be adorable.
oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we were moving through the bog, of course. I mean, we had a couple of the smaller guys on our shoulders, but stop engaging with dinner.
Frosty did the same thing for me. You giant folk are just so very kind and nice like that. It's a shame that we're fighting like this.
You started. They started it. They did start it. Now, an interesting thing about the Ettin is they get 2 sets of combat actions per turn.
Thought they bite, yeah.
So the Ettin brings its obsidian club back around to smash at Frosty. But remember, only 3 training dice. 10s are better. Does get a 10. So that's enough. Your shield is still raised, though, so your protection value is still 3, so we take it down to 9 dice. And remind me again what your toughness is.
7.
7. 10, 7, 10, 9. How's 4 wounds look for you?
Ouch. I'm still standing.
Okay.
I will be on your second hit, but I'm still standing right now.
I gotta check something.
Oh boy. I was like, oh, I'll just do like an herbal salve. Oh, that's outside of combat. Oh,
Yep.
Crappy.
Why Aaron's doing that, by the way, I finished off a deed by killing Herbert. as I finished off Rangefinder, I defeated 4 opponents in ranged combat, so I get my far shot talent.
Also,
Very nice.
I
Let's look
would
up
make-
far
I would
shot.
make the
Yeah, I'll look it up.
argument your bow, considering the Etten gets 2 actions in combat, would that not then count as 2 people, which means there's 4 people you could potentially shoot here?
No, he's one person.
Oh.
He just gets 2 sets of actions. It's a good
Aw.
try, though. It's a good try.
That was pretty
You
good.
make-
I thought it was pretty good.
A hell of a rules lawyer. I love it.
it.
And
Far
Sunny,
shot.
don't you have to like kill 4 things? So like you tick one off on the item has like ticks.
That's-
Oh yes,
Yep,
thank
yep.
you. The one.
Yeah,
one-
that's what I
Yep.
was hoping the ends would count as 2 for.
Okay.
So with one action, you spend 1 vitality and make a
Mhm.
ranged attack. The range on the attack is doubled, so you can now shoot this bow really freaking far. So your
Cool, 'cause
far
I'm gonna
range
run
for
away
the
in my
bow,
next action.
yeah, the far range for this bow is 240 yards.
Okay.
So, yeah.
right,
Okay,
nice.
so the Etten is going to swing again and try to get for 3 successes on 3 dice. Does not get it this time. So he brings the obsidian club around, and one of the other heads is arguing. He's like, I don't think this is very sporting. She clearly isn't up. Listen, I'm trying to work here. And the obsidian club goes right past Frosty. And with his 3rd action, he's going to just do a Hail Mary. He is going to try to push you away.
Oh.
So he's got to get 5 successes. It's almost going to be impossible, but we're going to give it a shot. We are going to give it a shot. It's bigger. 6 dice. 9s or plus does not work. So one of his fists comes and slams you right in the shoulder. But you know, you're big. You're about the same, almost the same size as this guy, and you have just absorbed the blow and rock back a little bit. Bring us back to Billy or Denza.
Well, do you want to go, Denza?
One archer is dead. One is behind cover, so that improves his defense a little. And then, of course, there's a giant irritated Etten in front of you.
Can we say it doesn't actually take an action for me to like put Billy down to do his own thing?
We'll let that one be a free action. He can drop. You can drop something for free, so you can just.
Hey, careful.
Okay, so I'm not gonna switch because if I switch, it's gonna cost 3. And then there goes my whole turn. So I am going to sort of like look at Sunny and see how well Sunny did with like the new short bow, and then just gonna like pull up her short bow and see how she can do with the short bow. So Denza is going to aim at the less friendly Etten head.
Okay.
I feel like the one on the left we've kind of got on our side. The one on the right, not quite so much. So that's she's gonna. So she is going to equip, aim, and
Fire.
attack.
Yep. So you get a bonus. You get 1 extra die for aiming.
And do this again. So the short sword has short bow has a strength of 5.
Okay. And what is your observe? And how many dice of guile do you have?
Guile is 3, observe is 0.
Okay. So you have 3 dice. You got to get 11s or better.
But I got a +1 dice because of
Yep.
aiming.
4 dice for aiming. So 4 dice, 11s or better.
Okay. No, but I did pair my hero die with another die.
So you got 1 success, and that's what you need. So you're good.
Okay.
So the arrow flies true against the Etten. What is the strength value of the bow?
5.
Okay, 5. He has a protection against piercing of 2. So it takes it down to you roll 3 dice, and you've got to get 6s or better.
3 dice. Okay. I got a 6 and a 9 and an 8.
A 9 and an 8. Okay, that's 2 successes. So your arrow does strike in near kind of actually just embeds in the skull of the Etten head that you were shooting for. And it just shakes itself. It goes a little cross-eyed for a second. And he goes, all right, she's made the list too. I don't normally eat saurians. I don't like cold-blooded meat. The gnome is the appetizer. She's the meal.
And
That be
Denza kind of
appetizing. That's very nice. Thank you.
And that brings us to Billy because I don't have any more bad guys.
All right, well, I can abide with you killing Frosty. No one liked her. But the gnome thinks that I'm his best friend, so I have to at least keep him alive for another round or two. How far away is the Etten from me?
I mean, he's within 1 movement range. I mean, you could run up on him if you'd like.
I'm really asking for like my spells because one of them is 24, one of them is 60, 12.
No,
I'm
you're
just trying to
within
figure out which
24.
one.
You're within
Okay.
24.
So I'm going to spend all 3 actions, hoping that he has a lower defiance, and I'm going to cause fear with all 3 actions, and I'm casting this with my vitality. I'm not spending an action to pull out the rune, so it's going to be Strength 8.
Strength 8.
Frightening
Nice.
hit versus defiance.
Okay. His defiance is 7+.
All right. That is 1, 2, 3. Do doubles still count for extra successes here?
With the hero dice. If the hero dice doubles with another
I just rolled
dice.
3 7s, with one of them being on my hero die.
Okay.
So how would the
that's
math work on that?
4 successes.
4 successes plus another one, and then I've got to roll 3 more dice. So another 7 then, which would not have been on the hero die. So that would be 5 successes then. It just counts as another one.
Okay, so he has fear 5 at the moment, which reduces his dice by 5, but you can't go below 1 die in a roll. So he is afraid. He is petrified. Oh, brother, I don't like this. We've got to get out of here. We got a job, but I don't like it either. But it is it's back to his turn. And he is still up in Frosty's face and can't easily get away. So he's gonna roll his 1 die. He's wildly swinging the obsidian club around now, trying to make a connection. And prowess 10+. Does not succeed, but I've got 4 points of bad luck, so I'm going to spend a point of bad luck and get a 12. Take a picture of it. So it's going to connect. So let's go back over. Your protection value is 3, so he rolls 9 dice.
Yes.
I checked the fear condition. It only reduces dice on actions, not on damage. So and your toughness was 7+, right?
The stunned condition, not the frightened, right?
No, that's for he's frightened. You're
sorry.
You're weakened or you're stunned. That is.
I'm
yeah,
I was reading the combat stuff. Sorry, I was reading the wrong section. But it's 7.
Yep. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Yep.
This is gonna hurt.
Yep.
11, 7, 6, 12, 9, 9 for 6 wounds.
Frosty, at the start of the summer sun coming through the clouds, melts into a pile of liquid as she does not have that much health left.
So you see this obsidian cudgel just swinging wildly, and it unexpectedly catches Frosty in the side of the head, and you just hear this horrible popping noise as the vertebrae in her neck separate, and her head sort of spins just a wee bit too far around, and she melts down to the ground. The Etten, now free from combat and in fear for his life, turns and uses both of his remaining actions to flee back into up the stairs and into the into whatever is inside the keep of the moat house. The other archer who's in cover looks, he's like, son of a bitch. And he's like, hey, I don't have quite the same values as the boss or our new sergeant. So like if you just want to call this quits, I'm happy to walk away from this and I'll just leave.
Well, I
What do you
don't see
think?
why not. We've got a black pearl that we could pay you off just the same as the
Oh, I don't want any money.
to like go
I-
through
I-
Frosty's pockets.
I don't want any money.
He's
I
leaving. He's not getting anything. He's leaving.
I
don't want
helped kill
anything.
Frosty, though.
didn't
What?
shoot. I didn't shoot Frost. Oh, I did.
What?
I did. I
You
did shoot her
that's
once.
your arrow right there. That's right.
But she did attack me. I mean, she did attack us first.
She attacked the Yit, not you. I think it's only fair. She's got one of your arrows in her. That I'll put one of mine in you. And if you survive, you're free to go.
Avenge
goes,
Frosty.
Yeah, he stays in cover.
Frosty.
He stays in cover.
We have established that Billy likes carrots, so he is, while he's at Frosty's melted body, he's going to take the carrot that was her nose and start eating it.
Okay.
Those gnomes
guess you-
children gave that to me. How dare.
I
That's
said it in
really
session 1.
Effed up. That's oh god.
So it is your guys' turn.
Crouch,
Somebody
crouch,
can
crouch.
either charge into the keep. You can shoot at the archer in cover.
Denzo.
You can.
Denzo will offer Sunny.
Yeah, I'll shoot at him.
Yep.
Yeah. Increased. So you can cover. So I think difficulty's increased by 1.
Yeah, that's
If I recall
correct.
correctly. All right. So
Again, if you survive, you can go.
Thanks.
Just clench real tight. This is a pretty sweet blow.
oh shit. Okay, so I have another pair on an 11. Is there something I can't remember? Is there something special about pairing when you're above with a success?
You get an additional success. So if your hero dice pairs with another dice and both succeed, it would be 3 successes in total.
All right, I have 3 successes in total then.
Okay, and more than enough to hit. And his protection value against piercing is only 1, so it takes your bow strength down to 8. His evasion is 7+.
Okay.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got. You said 7.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay, 4. It's 4.
Okay. What's it look like when you kill this sad archer?
Okay, so I just
Okay, I just want to graze you. Okay, it's just I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I didn't at least retribute. Okay, you can go now.
Oh! And his body falls out of cover, horribly dead. As the arrow pierced, it looks like through into the side of his body, through his lung, into his heart, and kind of popped out the other side of his body, the fletching somewhere in his chest as he drops dead.
That was for you, Frosty.
and he pours a little bit of his canteen over top of the part where Frosty melted.
Hey, wait. I've got an idea, and it could be pure berry. All right, so I'm going through our pockets, and I find this tincture, and I uncork it, and I pour it into the puddle.
And so you pour it into a puddle next to Frosty's body. You believe the puddle is probably urine or something else. As the body dies, it lets go of a lot of fluids, and nothing happens, unfortunately, except for the waster of the tincture. You hear the Etten
It
in
was
there
worth a shot.
arguing with himself. I'm feeling better, brother. Let's get out there and finish him off. Oh, let's give it just a minute here. And he rolled his composure, and he reduced his fear condition down to 2. So he is starting to feel a little bit better about life. But he is inside and not currently visible.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do? So you're officially
So-
out of combat at the moment, unless you want to
Yeah.
charge in and kill him. That's up to you. If you want to charge in, we'll keep going in combat. If you're going to do something else, we will stop the initiative here. But if we
So
stop the
just
initiative here, he will recover his from the fear condition.
Just a technical question. We
Mhm.
can't use a tincture or anything. Frosty's for real gone. We can't.
Frosty's for real dead. I mean, there are ways to bring dead people back, but Frosty's dead.
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't just you needed to pour it
Soaked
there.
a
not
lot of
here.
damage.
Just checking.
Yeah. No.
Just
It
checking.
was a
Okay.
full on murdered.
Why don't we all hide different sections away from each other, and then when he comes back out, we all pop up and just fire at it. And then if he runs towards one of us, the other two are really far away.
I like that idea. Go ahead and start hiding,
Okay,
and I'll be
will
right
do.
behind you. And I
Yeah,
want to
disappear.
like head towards the door where the Etten is. I obviously don't want to go in. I am not a tank, and I saw what happened to Frosty. And I'd like to call in. Is there any way that we could have a parlay?
What do you think, brother? I didn't like that rune wielder. That was some nasty stuff he did. I'm on here to tell you, brother. I pissed our furs. I know. I was there. All right. Do you think we could just talk to him a bit? All right. We will parlay. Standard mercenary rules parlay. No violence until parlay is called off by both parties.
Well, what do you think? I turn towards the where Sunny and Denza used to be, I presumably.
Oh, you don't see me. I'm like John Cena.
Yeah, Denza has swapped into her scale adaptation. And so she's off in another corner.
I like it.
All right. Well, I suppose it's just me then. Your terms are acceptable.
I didn't. I don't think I offered any terms, but listen, I am no longer the sergeant of a mercenary squad because, well, between the sergeant dying to the spider, the other 4 dying to toads, the 2 dying to the boss, and the 2 you just killed, well, I'm now just an Etten. So, here are my terms. I don't eat the gnome. I don't eat the saurian. I walk out the door with what I've got on my back, and you don't see me again.
Counterpoint. You do not walk out the door. Well, how do I phrase this? There's an opening in our group. And it seems that you can carry quite a bit on your back, and I could use some uppies.
So you're offering me a job in your squad?
I
I just killed your Jotun friend. How is that going to make you feel?
conflicted.
Wow.
Well, all right. I can't go against the boss because he paid me not to, but how about this? I'll go outside and I'll stay here outside the moathouse for a day. And if you deal with what you want to deal with here, and you come out, I'll sign up your contract and I'll join your mercenary company. I'll even carry the little ones.
Let me ask you this. This room that you're in, is there anything in there?
No, it's all empty. It's where we were bivouacking. The boss has got some sort of magic door up on the southern side leading. He's down in the southeastern section of the moat house, trying to figure out where some bloody secret door is, or invisible door, magic door. I don't know. He raised a couple of the boys that he killed out of a pit of fury when he realized the door was magical. And he's got them clawing away at a wall in there.
Well, let us come in and let's discuss this in face to face.
Right, come on in then. Still under parlay rules.
Sonny, Denza.
see him peeking up from like some spot really far away as he can be.
Okay, now sudden movements.
Fine.
He shoots Billy.
Sorry. Oh god, it's so tense. It's so tense.
So if you
All right, so we're all
move-
going in the room then, I think.
Okay. And in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
you see it looks like originally it was probably a bivouac, a small campsite for looks like 6 or 7 people. You see the Ettins in there standing. He goes, formal, and he's got this obsidian club down, and he's got his hands across the top of it in a formal parlay stance. He goes, right then, my name's Daryl, and this is my other brother, Daryl. I could have introduced myself, you know. I know that, Daryl.
And do we see any other like exits or entrances from this room?
Yeah, you see up in the northeast corner there's a door that's open. He goes, that leads into an old crumbled down tower. There's nothing up there. We've already cleared it out. And there's a hall goes off to the west. He goes, those were like guards' rooms and sleeping quarters. Nothing in there but some really big rats. So we kind of closed and barricaded the doors. And then directly down to the south is, you could tell it's a corridor leading to the south, but there's a kind of a shimmering dark red field of, looks like flowing smoke, blood red flowing smoke that forms a door. He goes, boss is on the other side of that and has been for a day. Killed a couple of the boys when he couldn't find the door, raised them as zombies and took them in there, and then called up this door, told us to stay on this side and keep things quiet out here. That didn't go over too well. I'm here to tell you, Daryl, that did not go too well. But, well, it's a mercenary's job. It's tough. Listen, Daryl. We're negotiating with another mercenary company here. We need to keep it professional. Oh, yes.
Hey, Daryl, do you got another brother named Larry?
How did he know? Listen, I don't know how he knew. We did have another brother named Larry. Unfortunately, he was only born with one head. Not real bright. Ended up staying in a town, working as a handyman for an inn.
That's there's a nobleness in that, That's great.
Wasn't cut out for the mercenary business like Daryl and myself, Daryl.
But I'm sure he gets into all sorts of shenanigans, like really entertaining stuff that you can just laugh about and just feel good,
Every time we go by and see Larry, do we really want to talk about this right now? I think he shows interest. Larry, the 2 innkeepers, elderly couple, well, not too old, but I mean, the gentleman's much older than his wife. I don't know how that happened.
Kind of uncomfortably so, like in
uncomfortably so, yes, yeah. Halfling cook is amazing, but yes, they run a wonderful inn, and Larry's forever getting in all sorts of issues with them.
I mean, it sounds like there's a great deal of situational comedy that could arise from his profession. I'll pay the visit.
Daryl, I never really thought about it that way, but I think the gnome has something. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Oh no, he's definitely he's onto something with that. Interesting thought. You could almost put on a play about Larry's life at the inn. Listen, let's get back to our negotiations, and then we can discuss this new venture.
Sorry. Okay.
So yes, all the terms acceptable.
Well, Pence has just sort of been looking
Frosty's dead.
at the puddle on the floor where Frosty was, and yeah.
I just want to point out, she attacked us first. She did indeed attack us first, Daryl.
We still have a companion lost.
And I have 2.
First.
I have 2. So
we have a job to do.
I'm not going to stop you. I'm going to let you do your job. We really, yes, I think we've fulfilled our contractual obligations as much as we really need to the boss. I mean, he did kill a couple of members of our squad as well. Daryl,
Oh, dear.
we're not a squad anymore. We're not a mercenary squad anymore. So we don't have to worry about the contract too much as long as we don't literally break the tenets of the contract.
Could you tell us anything about him? Like, you don't have to help us defeat him, like, physically, but can you tell us something? Like, how we can take him out or something?
Well, I think it's very
we can just
interesting.
speak theoretically, right? Like, say you were thinking about what are the ways to defend against him, and what's like the one way that you really have to be careful of, because that's like the weakness that you guys have to be really careful about, you know?
I think that's fair, Daryl, don't you? I mean, all right, it doesn't matter if it's fair. Let's listen. You never see his face. He wears this deep cowl like a monk's robe over it, but he's clearly a necromancer. He murdered R2. We didn't even see what happened. He just kind of glared at them and they died, and then he raised them as zombies. So he's clearly got powerful magic. I don't think he's physically that powerful, but he gave us the heebie-jeebies, and I mean, he was pretty terrifying.
Are you
Okay.
saying he might have forbidden knowledge?
I mean, I don't know how else you would describe it. I mean, raising the dead and killing people with a glance is pretty damn forbidden where I come from. Yes, Dan, I think it is too. I think Larry would agree as well. Very forbidden. Yep, absolutely.
And I do seek forbidden knowledge.
I would really just like to go kill the person that brought all of us out here and got Frosty killed. We go.
Well,
He's-
that's not Daryl or Daryl.
That's true. It's not them, and I definitely don't want them to die because I want to get their friends and family discount when I go to the inn. So it's gonna be delightful. But okay, let's just go see if we can kill him.
So that I'm just gonna wait outside the moathouse, and if you guys live,
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a day, unless I just hear horrible screaming, and then I'll probably leave because the boss is, well,
Oh, of course.
he's the boss.
And I'll be back for uppies.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to working with your squad. I'm leaving. And he gets up, grabs his pack, grabs his obsidian cudgel, and says, "Take whatever the hell else you want." And walks out of the keep. You hear him plodding down the stairs and out towards the drawbridge. You are faced with a shimmering blood red smoke door in front of you, and who knows what on the other side.
Well, I could inspect it for traps, but I think this is more your arena, Billy. But I can look for just, basic mundane sort of dangers, and then I'll just, I'll turn it over to you. How's that sound?
Well, I'm really more of a rune wielder.
Okay, well, I'm more of a dark delver, and,
I don't.
we're not really delving here, but so we'll
Do you need
kind
me
of
to
I'm
work
not
kick the
really
door
outside
in?
of the
wielding any
narrow...
runes by looking at a door.
Am I kicking the
Goodness.
door in?
What?
You totally can.
Checking for
Try.
trappers.
Okay.
Okay.
There is armor and weapons in a pile of water on the floor.
That's true. I wouldn't
Could be
really
useful to
use
someone.
Could you imagine if somebody just tripped?
It's Jotun armor.
Yeah, I think that would be
Just a little bit, maybe.
Just lays
Tiny
on the
little arms
ground.
hanging out.
It's like a turtle turned upside down. It's so tragic. What do you want? Do you want? Was it observe? Operate?
No, operate. Give me an operate check.
All right. I got 4 in training, 2 in operate. Need 9s. 2 successes. I have a 9 and a 12. Look at that.
As you approach this smoky door, you're looking at the door, well, at the hallway, or what the door frame would be. You don't see any sort of mechanical traps at all. You don't even see. I mean, you can. The door is translucent, so you can kind of see through it to the other side. So it's completely outside of your area of experience with just observing mechanical traps. Anybody who wants can make either an arcane or a weird test to maybe get a better handle on this door.
I suppose I'll do arcane.
Because I
I'll
don't think there's any
also-
mundane traps, but, you weird folk might get something different.
That's a
Looks
failure
fine to me.
on 4
You
dice.
can spend a pair. You can spend your last point of good luck. Well, no, you've got
I'll
2 points
spend
of
the
good luck
luck.
now.
I'll spend the
Spend
luck.
point of luck. Give me another point of bad luck.
It's also a failure.
Okay. So you're looking at this door, and it's a kind of magic you're just not familiar with. I mean, you were being honest. It's nothing that relates to the dwarven kind of rune wielding and rune craft that you're familiar with. It's just a completely foreign type of magic.
So while I'm pretending to look at the door, I'm actually doing something else entirely. I'm taking the black pearl from Frosty,
Mhm.
and I'm using one of my scrolls, explosive rune, and I am etching a rune onto the pearl, so that it basically becomes like a grenade. Essentially, if an enemy ends a move, or steps within 6 spaces of the item, it explodes.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, 4 spaces, because it's 1 action for the scroll.
Mhm.
So I'm pretending to be looking at the door while I'm actually casting the spell on the pearl.
Mhm.
All right, well, I suppose we're ready, and I open the door.
You open the door, the smoky door.
Or attempt to, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. I like this. What is your defiance defense?
11.
Well,
That's my
that's
good one.
That's good. Okay. So you pass through it. So you go to open it, and basically it just kind of pulls you through. But as it's pulling you through, you guys see that the color of the door gets a darker red. And Billy, as you plop out on the other side, you take 3 points of vitality damage as basically you feel blood pulled out of your body as you pass through the door.
Oh, it didn't hurt at all. I'm perfectly fine. Yeah, I drink my last tincture.
But you are on the other side of the door. You can give me an observe check around and see if you see anything that might be of help.
Yeah, I'm great at observe. I got 2 dice. That is a 12 on one of them, though. I can't pass with 4 dice, but I can pass with 2.
So the door itself is, across this kind of corridor. It's made a door for this corridor, but you realize on this end that the wall itself that the door is connected to is crumbling on this side. So you actually think that you might be able to do enough damage to the masonry wall next to the door to just bypass it.
Okay.
It's really wasn't visible from that side because the other side looked like a better wall, but from this side you can see that it's kind of crumbling.
The actual door itself, what's that look like?
It's like a blood red smoke.
Oh, okay. So like
I mean, it's in the
okay,
form
I'm
of
sorry.
a door, but it's like a blood red smoke, a magical door, obviously.
Can y'all hear me?
They can.
Yes.
All you gotta do is hit this wall really, really hard.
I can hear
Okay.
you. I can't see you. What do you mean by this wall?
The one I'm pointing at.
Right. I can't see you.
No, it's translucent.
On your left.
You're looking. You're pointing the wrong way. Denzer, the door's this way. It's right here. You go. There it is.
Oh, and she's still looking back
That's the
at where
wrong
the
door.
little puddle of Frosty is. After you, Sonny.
No, I can't hit. I got a bow. It's a brand new bow. I'm not going to hit a wall with it. You go ahead.
Okay. And Denza will hit the wall.
Okay. It takes a couple of minutes, but I'm not going to make you roll for this. You're able to crumble enough of the wall for you guys to kind of crouch down and slink your way through, and you find yourself on the other side of this magical door with Billy. The whole corridor continues down to the south, and you hear the sounds of scraping against a wall and pounding against a wall about 40 feet south of where you're at in a darkened room.
I want to throw my black pearl as far as I possibly can down this corridor
Okay. Just sort of randomly throw it.
and see if it explodes.
All right. All right. So you've got 1 point of good luck left. I'll let you spend that point of good luck to just actually make sort of a ranged attack roll. And if you hit, you hit. If you want to spend that point of good luck.
Okay. I do want to do it. I am just rereading the spell. So it's strength 6 on every creature within 4. So what do I have to roll for the range then?
You would be rolling observe, guile, and observe skill.
You know what? On second thought, Sonny, maybe you should give this a toss.
What's that? What do you want me to do?
You take this pearl and you just throw it down the corridor.
I'm sorry. You want me to throw this treasure down
Like it's a marble. You're playing marbles.
But it's a black. But you know how these can fit.
Will you just throw it on already, man?
Fine, I'll throw it there.
All right. Give me an observe roll.
All right.
Thank you for going along with my bullshit, Aaron.
I love it.
All right. All right. 1 success.
That's enough. So it gets down there. You spent the point of good luck to have this work for you, and you hear a pop off. It sounds like off of bone, maybe, and then there is an explosion. So roll your strength dice.
Strength 6.
So 2 of
It-
the things down there don't have any defense against it, and one has 2 against it. So give me the 2 that don't have any. Roll that damage to count all those dice.
Okay,
and
what am I
separate
looking
out
for on
2.
this?
Okay, so they have different ones. So 8 plus. Tell me how many total you get for 8 plus on all the dice, and then actually they're all 8 plus. Okay, tell me how many you get in total. 8 plus on all the dice, but separate out 2 of them that you roll and keep those separate because they're not going to count against everybody. One of them has a defensive 2 against energy attacks.
Okay, I got 2 successes total.
2 successes total. Okay. So you hear the explosion, and then you hear, "Damn it!" And you do not hear the sound anymore of scraping and pounding on the walls. Do you know how difficult it is to raise thralls? And then you hear the sound of robes swishing across the floor, and you see a figure coming out of the darkness and towards the light. This deep hood covering its face, its hands in these great long sleeves, and it looks up. "I presume my former partners have sent you."
What if you mean Daryl and Daryl? No.
"I don't mean the Etten. I mean my former partners from Hommlet. Looking for this." And he holds up the key.
Yeah, they were the ones.
And as he holds up the key, this robe slips away from his arm, and you see this pale white bloated skin, and you can see the bone poking through some of the wounded areas of this desiccated corpse body. And he pulls his hood back, and you see this gaunt feature, and his eyes, the yellow of egg yolk, dripping pus out of the corners. "I got tired of maintaining my disguise, and since none of you are going to be leaving here except for as my thralls to dig at this wall, you might as well see the real me." What would you like to do?
Could I just have one moment to confer with my partners?
I'm going to give you a heartbeat while I contemplate what I want to do to each and every one of you.
Fire! Bam!
And fire
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Denza like had hers ready to go, and she's like kind of watching Sunny, so that they like kind of
So-
release.
He was anticipating
trying to
combat,
fumble for a
but,
scroll.
but instead of rolling initiative, I'm going to give you guys the first attack because you did it. So, Sonny,
Okay.
fire your bow.
All right. I'm
He
gonna.
has-
Okay.
He has got protection value of 2 against piercing for his corpse-like body and magical robes.
All right. Here we go. The attack with the fancy new bow. Man, I am rolling doubles tonight, like something. That is 4 successes.
All right, so your arrow easily fires off and sinks into this guy. Let's see if you do any damage. So, what's your total strength of your bow? Is 9 minus
9.
2 for his pierce. So you roll 7 dice. You need to get 8s or better.
Okay. Let's see. It's 1. It's a 9. That's a 10. And that's it. So I got 2 damage.
Okay. So the arrow sinks into this necrotic flesh and quivers there, and he looks down at it. He's like, I just had this robe mended.
Oh, okay, I'll try to shoot in the exact same spot again.
And I'm gonna aim for my second action and fire for my third.
Okay, you get 3 successes for this.
All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I forgot how many I'm getting here. So I'm getting 6, 7 dice because of the aim. So I get +1. No, I got +1 observe. What am I talking about? So I get 6. Yeah. Sorry, I get 5, and I have a +1 to observe. Sorry.
You're good.
Getting myself confused. Okay. That is 1, 2. With the +1 to observe, that's still not enough to hit. That puts me at 2 successes.
You
need
can
a-
succeed at a cost. If you want to spend a vitality, you can get that 3rd success and hit.
I will do that.
I love it.
For Frosty, she was my best friend.
All right. Okay, so then let me roll damage.
7 dice, 8s or better.
Okay. Here we go. Well, that one's on the floor. 9, 8, 9, 8. Okay, so that's doubles, but not on the hero die. 4 this time.
Nice. And this other arrow sinks into its other side. It goes, do you understand how expensive this robe was, gnome?
Now, Billy's got black pearls he can give you. You can buy new ones.
So, what happens now is you see him. I mean, he obviously doesn't need to breathe, but he starts to pull air in, and it's almost like you feel this black wind caressing your body and pulling air out of you, pulling vitality out of your body. What I need you guys to do is we're going to do a resisted roll. You're going to roll composure, and I'm going to roll weird, and we're going to see how this goes. So each one of you roll composure.
Okay.
You tell me now how many successes you.
1 success.
I rolled snake eyes, which I think means I get 1 success.
Yes, yeah, that is true.
I rolled less than 1 success. 0.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic.
Oh,
And
no.
sadly, Frosty is still a puddle. So, what happens is you feel the vitality being sucked out of your body as the winds of Zon pull out your vitality. You guys don't have any resistance. I don't think any of you have resistance against cosmic damage, do you? Okay. So,
yeah, Dark Delvers have +7 to cosmic
that's
resistance.
nice. That's awesome. So
on
you're fine.
the sheet. Okay.
You're just fine. Sonny, you take 5 points of vitality damage,
Oh.
and Billy and Denza, you take
Nuts.
4 points of vitality
Oh,
damage.
gee.
But that is a
Okay.
2 action. That is a 2 action action. So he's only got 1 action left. And he is going to take 1 wound himself and activate Grave Shadow. And that's it. He's standing there and he's radiating this deathly cold around him. And you see the darkness swirling around his body, and he's sucking in shadows from around. He's sucking in your shadows. You're no longer casting shadows as they begin to swirl up his legs. But it's back to your side. Billy or Denza?
Denza had a bow at the ready to try shooting again.
Mhm.
Try shooting again. Sorry, I'm aiming higher than 6.
For
No.
him,
No.
for him,
Never
his
mind.
evasion is all you've got to do is beat your observe, succeed on at least 1 roll on
Yeah,
your
no.
observe.
Nope.
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 Okay. And all I have is bad luck at the moment, so you guys are out of your luck pool. I'll spend some luck this time, I promise. So you have 2 actions left.
Did you remember to swap one over when you re-rolled for the end to kill me?
Oh, I did.
Okay. I
You
tried.
guys, you got back to 2 at that point, but now you're back to 0.
Okay, so I was already loaded, so I shot once, so then I could load and shoot again.
That is correct. And you need
With
to get
mine.
3 successes on this shot.
Hmm.
You've
Okay.
got this. Denza, you got it.
No, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, so Denza doesn't have it. 2 crossbow bolts go skittering off into the dark around this avatar of Zahn. And unfortunately, because he's a super undead villain, he gets another set of actions as well. So he looks at Denza, and you see the flesh peel off of his right hand, and it's just a skeletal right hand now, and it begins to glow black, and it looks like the bones of his hand split open, and a black tongue wiggles out and spits arcane energy at you. We call this a necrotic ray. So we're going to give this a shot. It's arcane, so 5 dice, 10... 9 or plus, 9 or better. Gets 2 12. So okay, so he succeeds. And you've got no resistance against cosmic damage, no protection. So it's 8 dice of damage. What is your defiance?
11.
Sorry, you're shooting at me, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Denza.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
9.
I thought it was everyone. I'm sorry.
No. This is just a necrotic ray. 9.
I'd prefer an 11, but unfortunately, I only have a 9.
Got a 10, an 11, and a 12. So that's 3 points of vitality.
Oh gosh,
As
I
this,
am at 1 vitality now.
Okay, so it's like you feel this like this tongue of energy like spear into your body and start to like lap out your vital energy, and then it retracts back into his wrist, and then he looks and he takes his move action since nobody's closer to him, and he moves back into the deeper darkness, giving himself some cover, making it more difficult for you guys to hit. Billy, you're up.
All right. Well, the reason I wanted to confer with my companions here is because I did not have anything prepared, unlike them. So I will be fumbling through my bag for scrolls.
Okay.
I'll be pulling 2 of them out,
Mhm.
and then I will spend my third action to cast 1 of them.
Okay.
And that will be Firebolt.
So your difficulty
So
is
target
up by
one creature
1.
within 12.
Okay,
Is
you're
he within
within
12?
range. You're definitely
Okay.
within range. But he's obscured in darkness, so your difficulty increases by 1.
Okay, so that means I need I have Arcane 1, so that just cancels it out then. So I'm rolling 4 dice for Occult.
You got it. 11s or better.
That is 1 success.
1 success. That's all you need.
Okay.
So his
That's
protection.
strength 7.
Strength 7. His protection against energy is 2. So roll 5 dice against his defiance, which is 11 plus. So you got to get 11s or better on 5
You
dice.
got this. You got this.
You got this.
Oh, I do have this. Okay, so I keep getting confused by the hero die. I'm sorry. If it's a duplicate and it's already a success, is that a bonus success?
Yes, so it would be like 3 successes instead of 2.
So 2 11s with one of them being on my hero die would be 3, and then I got 2 more 12s, so that's 5.
Oh, nice, nice. So you hear him scream out this horrible keening scream as this firebolt envelops him, and he staggers out, and he goes, "I'll find you again," and his body collapses, and his head, you see his hands split off of his arms and form like crab claws and connect against the base of his skull, and it skitters off into the darkness, leaving the key behind, his robes behind, and you have successfully completed your mission to retrieve the magical key. And I think that's where we're going to leave our team of adventurers, having driven off the avatar of Zahn, sadly having lost their Jotun companion Frosty, but successfully having completed their mission and picking up an Etten as a new traveling companion. So thank you. Thanks all the players for enjoying this game with me. I had a lot of fun running it. I think, like I said, I think the mechanics are very entertaining. So you've got a little over a day. If you like what you saw here, go check out the Kickstarter. He's got a lot of information. He's got some example monsters up there, including the monsters we fought tonight, so you can get an idea of what the guys were up against and gals. So that's all I got to say. Jeff, it's back to you.
All right. Let's go ahead and move through usual plugs and such. So let's turn it over to you, Aaron. What's going on at Garblag?
I like this. The back and forth is fantastic. So tomorrow you can find me back in the narrator's seat at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for some more Marvel Multiverse Cataclysm of Kang. We are in the rank 3 adventure, taking back New York from the Hydra villains of Earth 54368. And then on Thursday, I think Pete is off. He's on holiday, so there will not be anything going on Thursday. And I believe the following Tuesday, Millie will be taking a break too, but we've got some Dune coming up soon, and I believe Ben is going to be running some Blades in the Dark or a Blades in the Dark hack as well. So definitely check that out. We're going to have some new shows coming up very soon on Garblag Games. And that is all I got for a Garblag.
Fantastic. As for the rest of us, next game on the schedule is Simbaroom Episode 1. Thursday. Definitely Thursday. There's definitely not a fairly high chance that that's going to get delayed by a week because I need more time. But if we get a second Wednesday in the week, we'll see. I'll know by tomorrow night whether I'm ready because I have no time on Thursday to prep. So I got tomorrow to prep. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm ready. Otherwise, after that, Friday, back to Delta Green, doing her thing. And a very beloved NPC has just passed, and so we're going to dig into the cause of death. Then Saturday we're going to do some Call of Cthulhu as we get back to 1930s Los Angeles. Monday, new game, but an old game as we're playing Alien again. One of the first games we really kind of started on the channel a while back. We played a couple different chapters of it. We have our own little Cinders of Heaven kind of universe of it. It's basically Alien with just a few random storylines. But we got a new chapter we're doing, brand new self-contained story. So come see that every other Monday. And then Steven, I would plug what we're playing next, but the channel in our Discord that refers to our group channel is TBD. So I don't know what it is. So would you like to enlighten us as to what that's going to be next Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday, definitely Tuesday.
Oh, no.
We'll be ready for we're planning on running.
You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. You can't.
I tried to give you plenty of time. I don't know.
You gave me a lot of time. I wasted it all.
This explains why he asked me when I was going to start DMing for long.
Oh god!
And it was like, now.
No, the plan is to be running Cloud Empress, the starter set, starter adventure there. So Tuesday. Yeah, definitely Tuesday.
Absolutely. If you're unfamiliar with Cloud Empress, by the way, it's built on the mothership model, so it's a specific setting within the mother, which we played. We played some mothership on here too. So very excited to be on the other side as we played. We played what Gradient Descent and like a couple one shots and such. So
yeah,
really
a good bit of mothership.
Yeah, we have. Okay then.
Yeah.
And wait, you don't like Mothership, Kipser?
No, I've never played it. I don't know.
Oh.
I have no idea.
Yada yada yada. Your character's dead. That's essentially
Okay.
Mothership.
Essentially.
Yeah, your
Cloud
characters
Empress is pretty similar.
will actually die faster than Frosty died tonight. I mean,
Yes,
that's pretty quick.
and probably in a worse way, to be honest.
Yeah.
It'll be excruciating.
Alright.
Or Steven will shoot your character in the head, because that's how Ashley's characters always die in Mothership.
Or
Just
Steven
seems,
will close the door on you when you're trying to go somewhere.
Hey.
No, that was
Maybe
Death in
survive.
Space.
That was Death
Different
in Space.
system.
I got your back.
Steven's character seemed to kill a lot of the PCs.
Yeah. He's got anger issues, and he takes them out on us. I don't know what that is.
I do.
We just love him.
Don't roll 9. Thanks,
so mean to us.
Ashley.
Not when I'm a GM, just when I'm a player. That's when I take it out on other players.
That is actually true, which is so weird. All right. Other than that, come check out the Discord where you can kind of chat with all of us. We're around there hanging out, different games and things. And Steven, what else can they do over on the Discord?
On the Discord, you can come hang out with me as I am playtesting my own RPG called Huckleberry. It's a Weird West game. It's some rootin' tootin' highfalutin fun. We have been deep into playtesting. We've already had quite a few sessions, and we got a couple more coming up in the next week. So join the Discord when you agree to the rules. Also click on the little howdy hat, and you'll be a playtester, and you can sign up for sessions as they're available.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's about it. We're going to go ahead and raid Ain't Got Crit as they are playing Vampire the Masquerade, and we are World of Darkness fans here. So we'll go check them out. You'll go check them out. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you later in the week. Good night, everybody.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night.